Okay. Well.
We on?
Yeah.
Okay. Ah, you see how this fish just falls apart?
Mm-hmm.
It's done.
Okay.
I'm gonna give it another minute.
Even though it's done.
Well, I hate to
judge.
bite into not done fish.
Right.
I'm gonna give it one more minute.
Okay.
Even though I think it's done. I almost dropped it. Definitely done.
Okay. So is that it for this
Yep,
lesson?
that's it. Okay, I'm going to add about a teaspoon of sugar to the tomatoes.
Because you tasted them and they were too bitter.
Just keep, well, they're not bitter. They're good that way, but
They're better with the sugar in them.
well, just keep tasting them and see what you like. Oh yeah.
Okay.
That's real good. Okay, we're going to fix up these stewed tomatoes just a little bit, and they're fine just like they come from a can, but it's kind of nice if you just add some extra things to them. So you just dump that can in there, add a little bit of green pepper left from when I did the fish, so I'm just going to slice that up in there. And I'm going to put a little bit of onion. Stewed tomatoes bought where it says stewed already have these things in. They show you on the can. They already have those in. It just kind of tastes fresher if you put a little bit of your own in there. And I'm going to put butter, about 3/4 of an inch of butter. And then you just heat that on the stove, maybe add salt and pepper. That's your stewed tomatoes.
Okay.
Okay, this is just the end of a tomato, saved for whatever reason. But I was just saying, if you don't want or don't have a can of stewed tomatoes, and you're not going to eat stewed tomatoes, but you just happen to have a little piece of tomato like this, you can just cut this up. This would be plenty to use on top of your fish if you just want a little bit of tomato on it. Tomatoes, and I've decided I'm going to add a little bit of garlic powder.
Wait a minute. Let me get up here and there. Okay.
Okay. Just kind of sprinkle this on the top now, not too much. And I'm going to put a little bit of salt and pepper in. That's it. These are microwave potatoes which you've pared. And then you're just going to slice them into the microwave dish. Gonna put some onion in there. There you have it. This is about 3/4 cup of water. 1 chicken bouillon cube.
Let me get the cube there. There. Hold it, wait. All right. What'd you do? Just take it out and put it in there?
Yeah. Sprinkle up with pepper. And you're going to cook this in the microwave, I don't know how long, but I'm going to start for about 15 minutes. And then you take a fork and kind of poke the potatoes and see if you think they're getting done.
15 minutes, huh? Wow.
And then you probably at that time will have to turn them and taste them.
Okay.
And if they need more water or more bouillon, then you'll know. And you just keep putting them back in. When they're nearly done, get some grated cheese and sprinkle on the top.
Okay.
And give them like maybe 2 minutes after you put the cheese on.
Okay.
And that's it.
Okay.
Ready?
Yes.
Okay, these are the finished potatoes. They cooked in 15 minutes. And at the end of that 15 minutes, I took about another 1/4 cup of water and put it in there, and about 1 inch of butter, and sprinkled the top with cheese. And now these are just going to sit and wait until the rest of the meal's ready, because I wasn't quite ready with everything else. And what I'm going to do is, just when everything's ready, heat these up for like 30 seconds. Today we're going to make stuffed peppers, and the things that you're going to need are pepper, salt, garlic powder, Italian seasoning, tomato sauce, ground beef, minute rice, your peppers. I cut them in half. The right way to do it is to stuff a whole pepper. That seems like just too much for us, so we slice ours right down the middle. Onion and some tomatoes. Did I mention ground beef?
Yes.
Okay. So you take a little bit of your ground beef. I don't know how to tell you how much of that is. Probably a big snowball. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
That should be plenty. And these are just little parts that I cut off of the green pepper halves, and I just put them in with the ground beef just because I like the pepper, and it kind of gives a nice flavor to the ground beef. You can do this the way we're doing it today and mix it all up in the morning and then cover it and put it in the fridge for cooking later on. So that's kind of a neat thing. You have something you can fix earlier in the day, and then you don't have to mess with it until you stick it in the oven. This is about 3/4 of a slice of onion, chopped. And I have total here 1 slice of tomato. I'm not sure I'm going to want the whole thing, but and then you put your tomato sauce in there. And I usually put a little bit of water in and rinse this can out and put it in there also. Italian seasonings. Probably a nice healthy pinch.
Hold that jar up there so I can see it.
I thought we got this in the beginning.
Yeah, you probably did. Yeah, okay.
And this is your garlic powder. You just got to sprinkle it lightly over the top. Salt. Couple pinches. Pepper. Rice. What you're going to do is just kind of soak this tomato sauce up with the rice so that you have something manageable for putting into your peppers. See, this is so runny that it would be really bad try and put it into your peppers. So you want to kind of just make it so you can pick it up. As usual, I misjudged, and we're going to have enough for Cox's Army. But that's okay. You want to kind of take your salt and sprinkle the whole inside of your pepper, lightly. When you first start cooking, it's probably better that you use a salt shaker than this, because it's going to come out maybe faster than what you want. And then you just do this. Always makes more than I think I'm making. Some people boil their peppers, but I don't. I just kind of cook them like this. I like the crispness that's left in them if they're not cooked too long. And then when you have all this left over, you can just kind of take this out of there and heap it up. As you can see, this is ample amount of green pepper for 2 people. You want to kind of keep it moist, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little bit of water in this bowl and rinse it around, pour it back into this can. And I just happen to know that you had spaghetti last night, and there's some spaghetti sauce in there. Now what you can use is just this water and pour it on there. But since we have some spaghetti sauce, I'm going to go ahead and get a little bit of it. And because we won't probably use it for anything else anyway. It's a good way to use it up. I'm going to put a little more water in here. Probably another can of liquid. Now what you can do if you want to, if you like it tomato-y, instead of just using water and you don't have any spaghetti sauce, you could use like ketchup. And you just pour that right over that. And we're going to cover it, put it in the fridge. Better sprinkle it with some salt. Maybe a little bit of pepper. Cover it, put it in the fridge, and then we'll bring it out later today and cook it. That's your stuffed peppers. Okay, these are our peppers that we did a little while ago, and we're going to put these in the oven. It's a glass dish. If your dish has been in the refrigerator for a while, you want to sit it in warm water to kind of warm it up before you put it in the oven. We got hungry and ours weren't in there that long, so I'm just going to put it in the oven, preheated, 350 degrees, and we're going to cook it for about 1 hour.
Okay.
There you go. I tasted the peppers that we put in the oven.
How long has it been?
And they're already in 50 minutes instead of an hour.
Okay.
And with our peppers, we're going to have corn on the cob. A reminder, you boil your water, solid water, and then you put your corn in there and cook it for 3 minutes, covered.
So you wait until the water is boiling first. Then you put your corn in for 3 minutes and put the cover back on after you put the corn in, and no longer than 3 minutes, and it's ready. Okay?
And then you're going to have some zucchini. And so I have a pan heating up here. I'm going to put 3/4 of an inch of margarine in that pan.
Yes.
Zucchini's been washed. And what we're going to do is just kind of chunk it. Gotta wait till our margarine melts. For this recipe you need Parmesan cheese, salt and pepper, zucchini, a little bit of tomato and onion. You can leave any of these ingredients out that you want to.
Okay.
Just depending on what you want to end up with. And then you're just going to slice some zucchini into this pan. However much you're going to eat.
Tell the camera light's getting dim, isn't it?
I thought it went down.
Uh-huh.
That's a battery.
Yeah.
A little bit of onion in here. Kind of cut biggish.
Mm-hmm.
And get that cooking. A little bit of salt and pepper. Why don't you take it off instead of keep showing it all the time?
Yeah.
Well, now people cook these different amounts of time, and I don't like them cooked very long because I like them still kind of crunchy. So the onion and the zucchini are just kind of cooked for a couple minutes. And then this is just a little bit of chopped up tomato, which you put in there. And then you just kind of let these cook for a minute or two together. And you sprinkle the whole thing with Parmesan cheese.
Now what was the setting you started with?
Well, I turned it up high, honey, so I could get it done. Doesn't matter what you cook it on, just so it gets done.
Yeah. There goes the 3-minute corns. Put the cover back on, and that's it for the corn.
Everything's on go here.
Everything is go, and that is it for this meal.
That's it.
And here's the finished meal of the stuffed peppers. 1 hour at 350 degrees in the oven. Zucchini right there, and the corn that just came out a few minutes ago.
Today we're going to make salmon patties. You have to have red salmon. Red. It's in the section.
Hold it out.
In
Yeah, I
the-
got it. Uh-huh.
In the section in the grocery store where you find tuna fish and other canned
Okay.
meats and fishes.
All right.
There's red and pink, and red just seems to be a little bit better than pink salmon.
Okay.
You need some onion, 1 egg, and breadcrumbs.
Mhm.
Okay, you take 1 egg and break it into your bowl. Kind of mix it up. And then you take some onion and just dice it into here. This is about 1 slice of onion. And then you're going to take the juice from your salmon and just let it go into there. And you're going to use your breadcrumbs to soak up all this liquidy stuff. Put your salmon in there. And of course you're always allowed a little white. And then you just mix it up. Hamburger patties out of them. If they don't hold together, you probably need more breadcrumbs or whatever. And that's your salmon patties. You're going to fry these in hot butter, a little bit of hot butter, just like we did the potato pancakes. And you're going to let them brown real good on one side. And don't put them in there until the skillet's hot, or else they just sit there and sog. So you want to get your skillet good and hot, then brown them on one side, and then turn them over the other side.
Okay, now we're going to do that in a minute.
Yeah, we'll brown them in tomato. If you have some hot water, you might want to just dunk it in the hot water. That's the water that the corn's going to cook in. And it's even better if it's boiling. If it's boiling, you got to be real careful when you take it out so you don't hurt yourself. But anyway, just kind of dip it in there. And then the skin comes off real nicely. And I'm just,
how long did you leave it in there?
Oh, if it depends on how hot the water is. If it's boiling, you can just barely dip it in there. Pull it back out. It's kind of nice if it's in the winter time when you have to get those tomatoes in the store and their skin's kind of tough.
Yeah.
Kind of nice to do that.
Now what's that? Okay.
Okay, we've got about a ½ inch or so of butter in here, melting, margarine. And this is what we're going to brown the salmon patties in. We're going to get it good and hot. To get it good and hot, I put it on high. When it starts to bubble, I'm going to turn it down. And it's probably hot enough right now, so I'm probably going to turn it down at least to between 3 and 4. And then you just put your patties in there. I imagine they cook like about 10 minutes. We're going to make some cream sauce to go over the salmon patties, and you need about an inch of butter. And I've never measured this, so I'm going to tell you.
What is that?
This is flour, Wondra flour. It's kept in the freezer on the bottom shelf.
Okay.
And that's about a tablespoonful, maybe a little bit more.
How much butter did you say that was?
About an inch of butter and about a tablespoon and a half of flour. And about a cup of milk. And a pinch of salt. 2 pinches. And then we're going to microwave this.